What's up, everybody? I'm Stella Chung, and you're watching The Weekly Fix, where each week we catch you up on the biggest and occasionally weirdest gaming and pop culture news. In today's show, God of War director Cory Barlog explains why the next game in the franchise will have a new setting, Sony makes a few interesting changes to the PS5, and Tom Hardy's hat sends MCU fans into a frenzy. Let's jump right in.
The news that there'd be two parts in the God of War Norse mythology saga kinda hit different for gamers, but director of the 2018 game Cory Barlog is opening up about his reasoning. Now, in an interview with Captain Kuba on YouTube, Barlog had this to say regarding why the story of Kratos and Atreus would be told over just 2 installments and not a trilogy or more.
I think one of the most important reasons is the first game took 5 years. The second game, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm just going to throw out that it's going to take a close to similar time, right, to do this. And then if you think, wow, a third one in that same, we're talking like a span of close to 15 years of a single story.
Right.
And I feel like that's just too stretched out. Like, I feel like we're asking too much to say the actual completion of that story taking that long just feels too long.
So the team at Sony Santa Monica Studio could have extended the story, but instead the decision was made to condense it to its core focal point, that being the relationship between Kratos and Atreus. Now with that, we'll be getting a presumably well-rounded story based on these two memorable characters. And it's not to say that this will be the last time we see Kratos. God of War Ragnarok is the second and final chapter in the Norse mythology saga of the series, but who knows where Kratos might end up next? We'll have to wait and find out when Ragnarok releases in 2022. In other news, Undertale fans, get excited, y'all. The second entry in the follow-up to the highly popular game is coming September 17th. Deltarune Chapter 2 will be gracing us with its presence on both PC and Mac on the 17th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Now, you might have seen the short teaser video posted from the Undertale Twitter account alongside the announcement from Undertale's 6th anniversary celebration event, y'all. Can y'all believe it's been 6 years since the game's release? It seems like yesterday I was like slamming down on my keyboard out of frustration trying to defeat Sans. In fact, it was yesterday during the live stream I had. Yeah. Anyway, if you're worried about your save files from Deltarune Chapter 1, worry not. To ensure it transfers to Chapter 2, players will need to see the credits of the first game. Chapter 1's completion data will be created when the player goes to sleep in bed at the end of the game. And for those already salivating for more Deltarune, Undertale creator Toby Fox made mention during an update on Deltarune's development back in 2020 that a Chapter 3 should be easier to make as the team can use what they learned working on Chapter 2 as a guiding light.
Quantic Dream, the developer behind Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human, is rumored to be working on a Star Wars game. The rumor was first reported by French YouTuber Gatos, who states that the studio has signed on with Disney. This follows closely after the company's shift to multi-platform work after a long history of developing exclusively with Sony. Of course, this is all just a rumor right now, but DualShockers did report that it has its own sources to confirm. The site reports that its source provided overwhelming evidence of having connections within Quantic Dream and that the Star Wars game has been the studio's primary project for around 18 months. The report notes that it's unclear what exactly that 18-month timeframe entails, but the rumors within the French developer community suggest that the game may have only begun full development in the past few days. While there's no official word from Quantic Dream, Tom Henderson, DualShockers reporter, captured a screenshot from Twitter that showed Quantum had liked the tweet discussing the rumors. The studio has since removed the like from the tweet, and this is still all just a rumor, but honestly, I would be super stoked for a Quantic Star Wars game. I personally adored Detroit Become Human, and I can only imagine the storytelling they could do in a Star Wars universe. Deltarune Chapter 2 released September 17th, and series creator Toby Fox said that his goal is to have Chapters 3, 4, and 5 arrive all at the same time. Fox shared the news on Deltarune.com and went on to say that while he originally planned on releasing new chapters only when all of them were finished, he realized that it's hard for both creators and fans to go a long time without a release. He also shared that Chapters 3 to 5 will be the point at which he'll ask people to buy the game at a price that is currently unknown, but will be more than Undertale, which is currently priced at $14.99. Deltarune Chapters 1 and 2 released for free, and Fox asked players who can afford it to buy another indie game to support smaller developers. Additionally, those who want to support Fox can purchase the soundtracks to Undertale and both Deltarune chapters from Bandcamp. We're not sure when the next chapters to Deltarune will be released, but at least players know they'll be getting the last 3 chapters in one update.
Sony PlayStation 5 is almost a year old, and if you still can't get one, I feel for you. For real, that sucks so bad. I really just feel bad for you. The good news is there's a new hardware revision of the PS5, the CFI-1100, which will supersede the CFI-1000, which you scalpers out there might know as the launch model PS5. The biggest changes to the new version aren't actually that big at all, with some minor modifications to the cooling system that, according to Digital Foundry, has the system running a little cooler in some instances or a little hotter in others. It's also 300 grams lighter than the launch edition, but the most meaningful change comes to its stand. You no longer need a screwdriver to install its base, which is nice in theory, but you really should have a screwdriver on hand for any screw-based emergencies. How are you going to protect your home from burglars if you can't loosen a chandelier to make some kind of Home Alone-esque trap? You won't be able to. Small hardware revisions are not anything new, although we tend to notice and remember the bigger ones like the PS4 Slim or the somewhat rare top-loading NES. There were roughly 30 revisions to the original PlayStation's hardware, with the original SCPH-1000 model being probably the most desirable due to its AV ports, while the SPH-1000R is among the least desirable. That's because that's the model number of the Sony PlayStation Classic. It's not good. It was a big bummer. Moving on from incremental revisions to software re-releases, the Taiwanese ratings board has just signed off on an unannounced Castlevania Advanced Collection, making it the 3rd overseas rating board to mention the unmentionable game. South Korea and Australia already rated it, but Konami hasn't said a damn thing. And look, if you're listening, Konami, and I don't think that you are, just announce it, please. It appears to be the 3 Castlevania games released for the Game Boy Advance, and those are some very good games, and I would love to play them again, please. Even if the Taiwanese rating board rated it PG-12 for sex, violence, horror, and inappropriate language. The 3 games, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, and Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, are among the finest GBA games ever released, and playing them through an officially sanctioned collection is a lot cheaper than trying to buy the original carts on eBay. Collectible game prices are through the roof. Hopefully they fulfill my wish for a similar collection of the utterly amazing DS Castlevania games too.
Hey, remember that big PS5 update the other day that added a bunch of new features and system storage options and stuff? Well, it turns out it also added a performance boost to some PS5 games, causing them to run 2 to 3% faster than they did before. I hope you're sitting down. In the latest Digital Foundry Direct weekly show, the crew broke down the differences between the PS5's performance on the new and old firmware. Digital Foundry's Richard Ledbetter found that in, quote, very select scenarios, it does seem as though all PlayStation 5s are running faster than they were before this new firmware. Now, what exactly does this add? Well, 1 to 2 frames per second. That's probably not something that the average person will even notice, but if Sony keeps adding frames with each major update, maybe we'll even get to the double digits at some point. Wow! Truly breathtaking stuff. In fact, let's do a test right now to see exactly what this looks like. We're gonna add 2 extra frames to this video that you're watching, and we'll make them brightly colored so they're really easy to spot. It's kind of cheating, but it should give you an example of exactly what 2 extra frames could look like. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Did you see them? Well, imagine that, but in, you know, Sackboy's Big Adventure and stuff. That's the power of PlayStation. Again, for the average consumer, you probably won't notice. Then again, the average consumer still can't find a PS5, so you definitely won't notice. Thanks, Sony, I guess. Speaking of video game things that cost over $400 and sell out instantly, the streetwear company Balenciaga has partnered with Epic Games Fortnite to sell a line of clothing with both companies' logos on them, with the products retailing between $400 and $2,500. That's real dollars, by the way, not like V-Bucks. These are $500 t-shirts that say Fortnite and Balenciaga on them. That's it. That's the whole shirt. Maybe you want something a little more flashy than a t-shirt, and you also want to tell the world that you're a gamer while also looking like a decommissioned NASCAR, but you also want to spend thousands of dollars in the process. Now, you could buy an 85-inch OLED TV, a PS5, a Series X, a gaming PC, and then get drunk and cover them all in random company logos and phrase stickers to tell everyone that you're a gamer, or you could buy the Fortnite Balenciaga gamer shirt, gamer jacket, and gamer baggy jeans. These are actual names of these products. I'm not making that up. You can put it all together for one outfit that's gonna run you somewhere close to $7,000. Maybe you're going out and about town and you wanna throw a backpack and hat and some shoes in the mix too? Well, now we're in the $10,000 range to tell people that you like Fortnite. Look, I get it. This is a limited edition streetwear drop and they're already selling out in seconds. So even while I sit here and try to dunk on this whole partnership, these ugly ass clothes, both companies are laughing all the way to the proverbial gamer bank. So I guess I'm the idiot here. What do I know? Nothing. I got this t-shirt from a store that sells action figures, Super 7. It was like $30, which is still, that's expensive for a t-shirt. I mean, but hey, look, if you want to buy clothes $500, I'm not going to get in your way. Personally, I'm not doing that.
Overwatch executive producer Chaco Sonny is leaving Blizzard Entertainment on Friday. The news comes from an Activision spokesman speaking to Bloomberg who confirmed that Chaco, who oversees the entire Overwatch franchise and development for the sequel, will leave the company. Blizzard has also said that Overwatch 2 is nearing the end of production at the time of Chaco's exit. An update on Overwatch 2 will be provided later this month, and the timeline on it may have shifted, since Overwatch 2 was reportedly still years out from launch. Activision Blizzard is currently facing a lawsuit from the state of California for sexual harassment and discrimination. It was also recently discovered that the SEC is investigating harassment at Activision and that the EEO has been investigating Activision since May 2020. While Chaco's exit could be unrelated to the investigations, Blizzard President J. Allen Brack, Chief Legal Officer Claire Hart, and Activision CPO Claudine Naughton have all exited or plan to leave the company in the months following the lawsuit. Activision Blizzard employees recently filed an unfair practice lawsuit against the company for harassing employees attempting to speak out against the company's culture. Pokemon Unite's big new update just came out today ahead of its mobile game launch. Pokemon Unite has added tons of new features, including crossplay and cross-progression, so you can jump from playing on your Switch to mobile whenever you want. There will also now be a number of new in-game events during which players will get the chance to obtain super item enhancers, rare items which will allow you to upgrade a held item straight to level 30. This could help take the edge off some of the game's microtransaction-driven grind, which lots of players had concerns about. But the developers assured fans that it is developing new modes of play designed to level the playing field for all trainers, regardless of their held items' grades. Also, every user who has played the mobile version of Pokemon Unite before October 31st will receive the Unite license for Pikachu, which lets you play as the character in-game, along with a special holoware for him and 1,000 AOS tickets which can be exchanged for in-game items. Mobile users will also be able to unlock the license for Zero Aura as a launch bonus by winning 32 battles in the game. A Nintendo Direct is coming tomorrow, promising 40 minutes of upcoming Switch games for this winter, so it's a really good time to be a Nintendo fan.
What's good, Fortnite? Emily here. The invasion's over and Chapter 2 Season 8 has begun. Cubes are running amok everywhere, and a strange dimension called the Sideways threatens to take over the island. Our new favorite space ape, JB Chimpanski, has a plan to save it, but it's going to require a ton of bars to pull off. That's where you come in and help determine what happens next. Welcome to the war effort, recruit. As the season unfolds, JB will be preparing new tools and old favorites to help combat the Sideways monsters, like a shockwave launcher or the new combat assault rifle. But these puppies don't grow on trees. It's up to all of you to pitch in and toss the bars you earn in-game towards what you think will help us out the most. War effort stations are located at points of interest across the map, showing what items are available to fund and everybody's global progress towards unlocking them. That's right, we're all in this together. When the winner of these head-to-head votes reaches 100%, it's immediately unlocked across all loops of the island everywhere. The loser? Well, better luck next time. Chimpanski is also specking out turret station sites that could be funded too. Be sure to stop by and contribute to these regions to help build up the island's defenses. What are you waiting for, recruit? Complete quests, eliminate enemies, and bust up every couch or ATM you see. It's time to rack up some bars and take charge of the war effort before everything's cubed. We can't wait to see what you vote for. We'll see you in game.
It's time for a short break, but when we come back, Akeem's got a few updates for you Marvel fans and even some My Hero Academia news. Don't miss out. Hey, you came back. My Hero Academia has been working up to something big, and if the promo for the show's Season 5 finale is anything to go by, All Out War is coming to MHA. Take a look.
Now, we finally made it to one of the most anticipated story arcs in the My Hero Academia anime series, the Meta Liberation Army arc, which will see both the pro heroes and the students of UA High going up against the Meta Liberation Army. Now, the latest preview for Season 5, Episode 25, entitled The High Deep Blue Sky, gives us a sneak peek at what My Hero Academia fans can expect as they prepare for all-out war against Shigaraki and the entire Liberation Army. Now, after Reed Destro's defeat in the previous episode, Shigaraki is now in charge, which means all hell is about to break loose as this highly focused group of Villeneuve is preparing to take the fight straight to the heroes and heroes in training. Now, if you've read this particular story arc in the manga, then you already know all the major reveals that lie ahead for characters like Hawks, Deku, Endeavor, Dabi, and more. Now, the final episode of Season 5 brings us back to the hero's perspective, where we'll be filled in on what the good guys were up to during the My Villain Academia story arc. Now, oddly enough, the anime handled the Endeavor Agency and the My Villain Academia stories in different orders from the manga, so the finale will likely clear up a few things for the audience as we prepare for the impending fight coming in Season 6. Now, how everything will wrap up remains to be seen, but we can all look forward to My Hero Academia Season 5 going out with a smash. Now, what did y'all think of this particular season? Comment down below. Also, for manga readers, I want to know what story arcs do you think Season 6 will tackle? Also, keep in mind, y'all, there are some anime-only readers, or watchers, I should say. You can't read an anime, but you can watch it. So please, let's keep the spoilers to a minimum. In other anime-related news, Entertainment Weekly snagged an exclusive image of Netflix's upcoming Cowboy Bebop live-action series, giving us another look at John Cho's Spike. Now, looking all spiffy in that signature blue suit, we see Spike sporting some nice shades walking by what appears to be three old men sitting at a table. Now, these aren't your regular three old men sitting down at a table. Based on their appearance, they might just be the three old men from the anime series Antonio, Carlos, and Jobim. Now, they're the three old men Spike and the crew constantly encounter throughout the series, which has been a running gag in the anime. Now, when you look at the detailing, the hats, and the clothing, it's no doubt that we'll more than likely be seeing the three make subtle appearances throughout the live-action series. Very nice attention to detail there, and we can't wait to see who else might pop up in Netflix's Cowboy Bebop when it drops November 19th. There's nothing fans would like to see more than Tom Hardy's Venom oozing his way into the MCU. And there's a new picture floating around on the internet that has a lot of fans speculating Hardy just might be finally making his leap. Film director Lynn Oding shared this now deleted photo of him and Hardy on his Instagram account, presumably removing it after fans began speculating of Hardy's involvement in No Way Home simply based on the hat he's wearing. Now, the full image was shared by the Twitter account Marvel Updates. Now, first captured by the Twitter account Spider-Man Brazil, they were quick to screen grab the image and point out that the very hat Hardy is pictured wearing is a Spider-Man No Way Home production cap given to the cast and crew. Now, there's many reasons why Tom Hardy could have had that hat that doesn't include Venom joining the multiverse shenanigans in No Way Home. Like he's friends with the cast and crew and they gifted the hat to him, or maybe they thought it'd be a nice little troll for fans to have him wearing the hat in the image. I mean, if we're going by that particular logic, him wearing a cap from an upcoming movie, he's also wearing a Cobra Kai t-shirt next to a guy that directed a couple of episodes from that series. What, does that mean he's gonna be joining the next season of Cobra Kai? Who knows? It's possible he's an actor, yeah. Not that I'm counting out the possibility of Venom appearing in the upcoming Spider-Man film, nor should you, as the movie will undoubtedly contain many villains from across the Spider-Man films that have been made over the years. Now, we interviewed Venom director Andy Serkis, who said that a Venom Spider-Man meet will happen eventually. Now, we'll have to wait and see if it happens in Spider-Man No Way Home when the flick hits theaters December 17th. Now, in other news, it seems Dune director Denis Villeneuve isn't a big fan of the Marvel movies. Now, speaking with the Spanish newspaper El Mundo, he was asked a question about movie budgets, which somehow led to a conversation on Martin Scorsese's comments on Marvel films. Now, Villeneuve said, quote, "Perhaps the problem is there are too many Marvel films that are nothing more than a cut and paste of others. Maybe these types of movies have turned us a little bit into zombies." Now, I'm not a zombie. I don't like to eat brains. Now, Villeneuve's copy-paste comment received some criticism online, of course, notably from Doctor Strange director Scott Derrickson. Derrickson took to Twitter and said, quote, "As a director, I don't slag on the work of other directors, even when I don't like something they've made. This job is hard enough for all of us, and nobody ever sets out to make a bad movie." Now, I definitely agree with Derrickson on this one. I personally have never looked at a single Marvel movie and thought it was a copy-paste job of another one. Maybe Villeneuve thinks superhero movies are a bit formulaic to a certain degree now that we've been inundated with so many over the years. I don't know, but curious to know where you fall on this particular debate. Comment down below and let's discuss. As actor Daniel Craig prepares to make his final appearance as 007 when No Time to Die finally hits theaters this October, he has some choice words about the much-discussed idea of the James Bond franchise getting a new female lead. Now, speaking with Radio Times on if the next Bond should be a woman, Craig said, quote, "There should simply be better parts for women and actors of color. Why should a woman play James Bond when there should be a part just as good as James Bond, but for a woman?" Now, the comment from Craig is reminiscent of those made by James Bond film producer Barbara Broccoli, who said back in 2020 that while James Bond can be any color, he's historically a male. Now, she also expressed her disinterest in having a woman playing the role of James Bond, as she believes women to be far more nuanced than that. Now, while there may not be a woman James Bond just yet, No Time to Die will feature actress Lashana Lynch, who is set to play a spy holding the 007 title in the movie. Now, with multiple delays, fans of the franchise can finally look forward to No Time to Die, coming to theaters October 8th. Now, in other news, Netflix seems hell-bent on adapting every single thing you loved as a child with their recent purchase of the Roald Dahl estate. Now, this means that they have the rights to create projects based on the novelist's work across all of mainstream entertainment media. Now, this includes such childhood classics as James and the Giant Peach, Matilda, and that kid inside of a chocolate factory. Y'all know the one.
Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing? Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing.
Now, this news comes to us almost 3 years after Netflix announced that it was developing a slate of animated shows based on Dahl's work.
Hey, what are you guys doing out here?
It's Halloween. We've been trick-or-treating.
Are you alone?
There's a creepy man in a white mask,
Where?
and he keeps like trying to play hide and seek with us.
Where did you see him? Look! Run! Go home now!
Unlock the door! No! Come on!
We killed Michael.
My grandmother set the fire.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Michael Myers is alive.
A man couldn't have survived that fire. "40 years ago, the boogeyman came for us. We are the survivors of Michael Myers.
Lori, what do we do?
We fight.
Mom, our family.
We'll kill him.
We're gonna hunt him down and we're gonna put an end to this. He is not gonna stop killing until we stop him.
If you track Michael's victims, that's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
Someone's in our house.
coming for me, but I'm coming for him.
You want to kill someone? Take me! Michael!
I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes.
I'm Stella Chung, and that was your weekly fix. We'll be right here next Saturday to get you caught up on all of the biggest in gaming and entertainment news. See you then.